Hello, everyone, and welcome to Education 380 and/or Education 500, week number 2. Dr. Allen here. Hope you had a nice start to the semester. I'm recording this on Friday. It seems, knock on wood, everything's went pretty smooth this week. This past week for week 1 with the art selfies have been phenomenal. I know it's not the most complex tech, but just kind of getting a background where everyone's coming from is always really nice. It kind of helps me shape some things when we look at some technologies down the road and maybe what we need to stress. So thank you for that and nice detailed responses. I'm recording this on Friday. What would this be? August 30th. Most of them were actually in. Awesome. If you haven't, don't worry. You'll probably be watching this after, but remember, Sunday at 11:59 is usually our cutoff date. Email with any questions. But with all that being said, I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to look at some stuff this week. Again, I'll try to keep this as short as possible because I know with this being asynchronous, and I think there's a time limit that, I think I've read on asynchronous classes, usually around 20 minutes is about where you want to go at the most. We'll see if I can abide by that. I'll do my best. So let's go ahead and jump into week 2. And once you get into Brightspace, there should be something that says week 2, and it has all of our stuff loaded up here. We have our discussion board. We'll have a blog and things like that. Actually, I need to post blog 2 under here, so it's not showing. I'll make sure that's up before I open it. This week, if you look here, I do have our objectives up. We're going to look at websites. And I will tell you a couple of things. One, websites are not quite as prevalent as they once were in individual teacher classrooms because learning management systems like Schoology, Google Classroom, we're on one right now with Brightspace, things like that have kind of replaced a lot of websites. By and large, most schools have a learning management system. Like my son has one, it's called Blackbaud. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And then his work is done in Google Classroom, and that's where everything's posted. I still think it's important to kind of know how a website operates in the classroom because one, I used to use one and I still have access to it. I'll show it to you. Because if you switch schools, a lot of times stuff doesn't transfer, so it's nice to be there. Also, it just kind of gives you a point of reference that you can send students. They are a little bit of work to build. And the other thing I will say as we do this activity, this is usually everyone's least favorite activity because if you do a couple of the web builders, I think they look better, but they're very quirky. And there's a little bit of trial and error with them. Well, let's look at an overview of the websites first, and I'll talk about the ones that you can choose from. There is one that is a little easier than the others. I'm going to show one of the harder ones, but you're welcome to use the easy one. But with that being said, I'm going to actually pull up the PowerPoint here without the lecture. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Just to kind of give you an overview, I'm going to buzz through this quickly, but just to kind of give you an idea about why websites and e-planning are important. The e-planning, I might hold off a little bit this week, but we'll see how my time is going. Why use a website? Because students expect it. There's a lot of advantages for both students and teachers to have a class website. One, and this actually applies to learning management systems too. You can just plug this all in. But one, it allows you to have a paperless classroom. Accountability, because if something's posted, there's no reason that you can't access it unless there's a really bad storm or something usually that knocks out internet. And you do have to make sure all your students have access to some form of internet. It can help with differentiated instructions. You can tier assignments. You can maybe post different things for students to work on. It allows you to be organized and to find things in one centralized location. And you can post newsletters, blogs, and assignments and announcements and things like that on the website. For students, you can do a collaborative learning. I used to have students, there's one called Weebly, and there's also Wix, and you can also use Google Sites now. Those are the 3 that we're really going to talk about, or you'll have the opportunity to use. Students can create websites and share them now. They're very easy to make. Google Sites, and I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse, but that is probably the easiest one to actually create in. It also allows, once you get a website established though, it gives students a location that they can always check for information and they know they can go there. And again, it just makes your class more modern. Also, just to include the parents. If parents know where to go, it gives them an information spot to check. Transparency, nothing's hidden. You're not trying to hide anything from anyone. It is there. For example, if a student misses time, if you have something posted, the student will see it there. It has deadlines and things like that. And it helps keep parents on the ball also. And, they can find information to help their students or their children out if it's posted. Again, this is with websites, but this also applies with learning management systems. There are many. I haven't updated this, but a lot of schools use WordPress also, and that's something we use at Shepherd. But Google, Weebly, Wix, those are kind of the new ones. I put on here we're going to focus on Weebly and Wix. I should amend that. If a lot of students lately have been asking to use Google Sites because it's a little easier to use, you're welcome to use Google Sites. I will say all of these are basically what I call plug and play. That's just my term, nothing official, where you basically drag things in and put them where you want them. I'm going to show you Weebly here in a few minutes or a few seconds and kind of show you what I mean. I will tell you the reason why I think this is one of these weeks where you're going to have to experiment a little bit and make it work. And you might boggle something a little bit. Don't get frustrated. And if you really need help, just email me or stop by my office. We're not going to make anything super detailed unless you want to, but just you're going to have to experiment a little bit. And I think that's with any technology. This is a old website that I had in my classrooms. And as you can see, this was when I taught, and I didn't always have all of these grades, but if I had, 8th grade, 7th grade, my materials were there. If I had history bowl, I had a language arts section every once in a while. I kept my materials there. So I knew where everything was, National History Day and announcements. And it's nothing fancy. And as you can see, what we're going to look at when we go into Weebly, when I mean plug and play, as you can see, you will take these and you will just literally drag them. So if you want a title, you put it there. If you want a video, you'll put it there. If it's got a lightning bolt, though, it's something you have to pay extra for. A contact form, you will drop it. As you can see up here, of course, that keeps popping up. So I'm going to scoot this down. If you look here, you will just click and you can add pages. So this is my title page. And this was a stock image that they had of Paris, which I thought just worked with social studies. I mostly used mine for just when I had PowerPoints and just resources. I could just all put them in one spot, so I didn't have to always. Basically, I was eliminating. I'm using a flash drive here. I don't think I have a flash drive here because who uses a flash drive now? I guess some people do, but I was looking to see if I have one. But I've just put my PDFs up. I do find with the websites, the PDFs usually work best. This screen actually will show you, they actually just got rid of where you had to create individual student accounts. So you don't need to worry about that if you wanted to do it. But this was a sample of a 6th grader who made a website. We were talking about World War I. Everyone got assigned a specific topic in World War I. They all picked it, and then I approved it. And basically for what I had the students do is I had them create a homepage. They had to write a bio on the person or event, and they had to post a video related to the event. So this person did Red Baron. And if you look, well, I don't have the link on there, but they had a short bio on the Red Baron. And it's kind of a writing assignment, and I had a rubric. And then they posted a video from the History Channel, I think is what was on there about the Baron. And I told them to keep the videos 5 minutes or less. Excuse me. Excuse me. Next, what you're going to do, you're going to pick one of these sites. You're going to pick either Wix, Google, Weebly, or WordPress, some people have asked. And you're going to create a brief website that you would use in class. There needs to be a title page with something kind of behind it if you can. There needs to be a header. And you need to enter something underneath that second page. So it can be a link, it can be a handout, it can be a video, anything like that. I have Sakai on here. Sakai is our old learning management system here. It's actually gone. I thought I got rid of that. I will give a quick shout out because I don't know when we'll get to it before. Electronic planning, this is something that you may see, especially in like Schoology and other learning management systems. I worked with a lot of colleagues that like to purchase their own or use free ones, so they would always have access to it in case they switch schools. I'll just say this, I liked planbook.com. I paid $10 a year for it. I actually just recently didn't renew it because I haven't used it in a few years because I haven't been teaching middle school, but I really liked it because it had built-in standards in West Virginia, so I could align everything. Again, maybe if you're not building a website, you might want to use something like this because as you can see, I could load up my handouts and things like that. This was all, none of the standards I did not type. This things down here I did. And I don't know how far everyone is in the program. This was more of a day-to-day teacher planning where, and as opposed to, I know in our with social studies, I have to do detailed lesson plans with everyone in the class because we're still learning some of the skill sets. So anyway, but I would definitely recommend checking out some of the planners if you kind of like to do things electronically. Some people still like to write their plans out or type them. That's fine, in like Google Docs and things like that. So I think that's the PowerPoint. So what's the technology? The technology that I'm only, most weeks when I have multiple ones, I'm just going to pick one, but that doesn't mean you can't use the others. I will fully disclose I am way more familiar with Weebly. That's what I've used probably for the last 7 to 8 years. I'm just comfortable using it, so it's the one that I usually show. It can be a little quirky though, and like I say, there is some trial and error with it. You are welcome to use any of them. And if there's a website that I don't have listed and you want to give it a shot, just email me and give me the heads up. I will be more than likely to go ahead and give you permission. I'm not too picky about what sites you use. I just want you to be familiar with creating a website. I will say in recent years, Google Sites has been the most popular because if you have a Google account, it's pretty simple to make. So, all right. So what are we going to do? If you were going to use Weebly, I'm going to move my face over here. You'll just go to Weebly.com. You'll have to create or sign up. You should be able to sign up with a Google account. Let's see if it does it for us. Or create one. I guess it doesn't have that option. Most of them do, but that's all right. You can just use, and it's free. Do not, I don't know if I said this on any of the syllabus. If anything is actually asking you to pay money, don't. There's nothing in this class you should have to pay money for in terms of technology unless you elect to do it because you want to do it. But anyway, once you get your login stuff and your account created, login time. For some reason, it makes me do it twice. I've been fiddling with it before I filmed this and it was doing this, but that's okay. Let's see. Not a robot. Must have typed too fast. Pressure is on. The camera is on. I think I got it. I think I typed in the wrong password there the first time. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Hey, we're in. And you'll probably end up with something like this. Let me show you the websites first. I'm going to show you one that we just did. If you look, there's different sites here that I've made down the side. I just actually used this for a teacher PD just so we had a home base because there was teachers from basically east of the Mississippi to the Atlantic Ocean, I guess. East of the Mississippi that were at a teacher professional development that I was doing. And it was just easier to have a website. And then you can put these together pretty quick. But anyway, like here's one I did. If you've had Dr. Gordon, I actually did it with him. And we created this site. And it just has all the handouts, journals, assignments, and things like that, Zoom links. So for example, we'll just hit journals. I had things where people could submit their journals right there. Let me go back. I'll show you another one. Let me close out of that. Let me show you the old one that I had pulled up. I think I still have that one. Do I still have that one? Let's see. I don't like that one. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud slightly. I was just kind of looking, let's see, this is an older one that I had, but I think it's the one that I had up on there. There it is. Just to kind of show you, see, I had announcements I put on here. I will admit, I liked it better than our learning management system at the time. I did start to transition a little bit after, but I posted everything up here and labeled it. It's nothing too fancy, but I think parents appreciated it. Anyway, I'm babbling a little bit. I'm going to go back to the original site and I'll show you how this all works. All right, once you get to the site, what you want to do is you want to click. Once you've created your site and your domain, oh, let me say this too. It's going to ask you a couple of times about if you use Weebly about paying for a domain site. Don't X out of that. You want to use Weebly.com. If you pay for just a .com, it does cost money. If you do the Weebly.com, it shouldn't cost you anything right there. Again, if you're going to use Weebly. When you hit edit site, and these all kind of operate the same way. But as you can see, I have my page there, and you can literally, if you pick a template, which is going to have you do, you can go on and just highlight it, and you can just, and I'm not going to do it, but if you hit delete, it will get rid of this. And if you want to add something to it, you just do this. You will just drag it over and drop it. I'll just drop this here. And you see it puts it right there, and I can put a new title. Now I'm going to actually get rid of that. And if you don't like where it looks, there should be an X. And you delete it, and it's gone. If you want to make a new page, you go to pages, and all my pages are there. You just hit the X, the plus sign. And if you look, you probably more than likely will hit standard page, whatever you want to call it. And there it is. And then you just start building it. So if we went to build, we can start adding things. I'll go back and tell you what you need to add on it. But if you need to do like a YouTube video, you can just drop it right here. And the nice thing about this is if you click usually on there, you can just post the YouTube video in and it'll embed it. So for example, who knows what's going on there? Type of WWE things on there. It could be my kid. Anyway, here we'll do, if I was just going to do Disneyland's worst ride ever.
The attention of the public.
You'll just
And
cut
Walt
and paste.
Disney himself aimed to keep the park fresh with regular.
All right. And I'm not really picky about what the video is. You put that there, and then once you put it in, just click somewhere else. Boom, it's embedded in there. So you can do that. If you want to keep, you can name something there. You are going to have to put a video in. If you want to put a file in, all you do is we'll just put this down. Whoops. So we'll put there. Oh, I did take it. You'll just take it and you'll drop it here. And when you click, you'll just upload the file, and you can drag it right in there, and it'll put it on there. I do find PDFs work the best. So that's kind of it. It's just drag and click and things like that. I will have better, well, I'm going to say better YouTube videos up just in case my directions are not very good. But we'll go back and I'll show you. I should be able to I'm not going to publish this, but let me go back here real quick. And done. And what we'll do is we'll click that, we'll delete that page. And it should just get rid of it. Okay, and then I'm back to my normal pages. Whenever you want to actually publish anything, let me rephrase that. Once you drag stuff over and you've got the website built how you want it, make sure you publish it, and it will give you a web address right here. And if you want to see what it looks like, you just click it, and it'll keep it there. And it's all there. Again, Weebly can be a little tricky, so please don't get frustrated with it. You're more than welcome to stop by and see me if you want to use Weebly. If you decide to use one of the others, that is also fine. I will be the first to admit Google Sites seems to be the most popular, which if you are interested in using, let me go to Google real quick. Sites was on there. Google Store. I might have overlooked it. Let's see. Google Sites. Why don't we just do this? Whenever you can't find something, Google it. And you should have a Google login. And if you do want to use this, as you can see, I've actually made some and experimented in here. There's different templates you can use. You can just hit a blank site, and everything that you do over there, you would just literally click. So you would put your page title, and you could just do this insert button, test, and a link to whatever we wanted. I think I still have that Disney one. Boom. Let's insert, and you could click on it there. Again, you'll have to publish it after you do everything. I will again admit this is probably a little easier to use. There's images you can insert. And if you need a new page, there should be. Oh, there you go. There's your pages. If you want to add new pages, you just click here and just hit a plus. So again, it's a little bit of trial and error, and there will be YouTube videos up. What do you need to do this week, though? You need to. Hopefully I was smart enough to post the thing. There it is. Don't ignore that link. I'm putting this one up now instead. But you're going to either sign up for Wix, Google, or Weebly. And again, WordPress is also allowable, or one that you really want to try. Create a brief website using your chosen software or website platform. You're going to make a title page. You're going to have a sub page. And on that sub page, I want you to either put a link, a handout, a video, something on there. And then you're going to publish it. And then you're going to submit it on Brightspace. Now, just to add this in, and I'll put this on the blast too. When you have a link on Brightspace, sometimes it doesn't let you embed the link. Just put it on a Word document and submit the Word document with the link. I'll just open it from there. But there's it. 3 things. The only 3 things you need to do this weekend as far as tech: title page, create a web link, and create a sub page link. And then on that sub page, post something relevant to what you want to teach. You're welcome to go full blast on this if you want, but those are the 3 minimum things I need to see. Just really part of it is just to see if you're able to navigate the tech. This one to me, like I've said a million times, it's the quirkiest one. So it gives me an idea of how comfortable you are finding things and building things that you kind of have to do trial and error with. The other 2 things you have to do discussion and you have to do the blog. And that's the week. Excuse me. Excuse me, I told you these were one take. They had a granola bar before for class. It may have not been the smartest thing. All right, let me go back here and show you one more thing just for the week. And make sure we're not forgetting anything. And then I'll get off of here. I'm probably over my 20 minutes. If you look, we're on this week 2. You have to create the website. You have to do blog 2. You have to do discussion 2, which is on the fail concept and tech like a pirate. Basically, that's kind of correlates with what the website is. Sometimes you have to fail doing something to learn from it. It's not a new concept, but it's something that a lot of us struggle with. I do sometimes. And it just talks about that in terms of teaching. So with all that being said, I think that is it. I will stop sharing. If anyone has any questions about anything, please email me, stop by. Again, when you do the blogs, be honest whether you liked your website use or not. I don't have any stock in these. It's really kind of to test that fail process and all done tech like a pirate and just get you used to fiddling around with tech and just the trial and error. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I hope everyone has a good holiday if you're watching this on Monday or Sunday. Excuse me. Sorry that I was coughing. Like I say, I probably shouldn't have eaten the granola bar before I started filming this. But thank goodness for my Gatorade. And with all of that being said, I will sign off. I'm going to stop recording and get out of here.